As one's passed, so I'll put it on there, Friday the 1st. I don't want to cover up any posters that people have already... Hold on a minute. I don't want to cover up any posters that are for upcoming events or ones that are needed, you know. Oh, Gareth, I wish you'd put a pull-off tab on these. I want to get the backing off. That's it. There we are. Right. Let's see how long this one lasts. Will it be here when I get back? Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Panwo TV. Well, I'm here in Blackpool, this Babylon of the North, and I'm pleased to say the reason I'm here is because I am returning to Probe, the Probe conference. Last time I stood on these shores, I stood where I am now, and I did a film just like this one. It was 2 years ago, and if you remember, well, the link will be in the description box so you can watch it. If you remember, the weather was very different then. We had a very late season heat wave, I remember. A lot's happened to me since then. Most significantly, I'm no longer a hospital porter. So, I've not been back to Probe since then. I can't believe that I've kind of neglected to go to it, but you see, what happened was I had to make some very tough decisions about where I would go and what I could see. Let's go down close to the seafront. The sea, since the tide's in, I had to make some tough decisions about where I would go with much less money. And Unfortunately, I didn't go to Probe. I wish I had done, but I went to the Exopolitics conferences instead, things like that. So, did I choose wisely? Maybe not. Although I'd have missed the Exopol if I'd gone to Probe. It's so tough. There's so much I want to go and see and do, and I can't because I don't have the money. And the sad thing is, I missed it badly. I didn't realise how badly I missed it actually until quite recently. But the funny thing is, right, I wasn't going to come. I wasn't going to come to this year's conference. I was going to. I'll explain a bit more later. I need to get to St Anne's. All right. See you in a minute. Well, what you're looking at there is all that's left of David Boyle's UFO alien exhibition. It was here. Now it's actually something else has been here since then. They had something else here. I know because when I came up to do my talk at New Horizons, I checked it out. I didn't film that, but do you remember the time I spoke at New Horizons? That's on the channel. And I wanted to see if David Boyle's exhibition was still there, and it wasn't. And you see, it's still not there. It's a real great shame. I mean, luckily, I mean, I did films. If you go there, you'll see some of it because I filmed it. But oh, it's this David. He's such a sweet man. He's such a nice guy, and it's so very, very sad to see it go. I actually, when I was up here, I think when was it? Was it March when I spoke at New Horizons? Actually, they had some sort of exhibition here. They had this unique, amazing experience exhibition centre, right? And I actually went in there and I spoke to the guy. I spoke to someone in the reception, this young woman on the reception. And I asked, "Where's David Boyle's exhibition gone?" And she says it's closed down, and we've replaced it. And the strange thing was, she told me that many other people had been in asking her about it, saying, "Oh, where's David Boyle? Where's David Boyle's thing gone?" So quite a lot of people apparently have been coming here asking where David Boyle's exhibition has gone. So from that I conclude there's still a lot of interest in it. I mean, I do hope David can open it up again sometime, because I mean, David Boyle managed to impress Jonathan Downes. This is Jonathan Downes is the guy who came to Blackpool and said it was the biggest shithole in the world. But he said he said that David Boyle's exhibition was the one bright spot. He said he was the only person who wasn't just trying to fleece people out by selling them rubbish. So if you can impress Jonathan Downes, you can impress anyone. Anyway, that's enough of Blackpool. I'm going to get to my favourite place in the world, St Anne's. Hospital porters, pride and dignity, stop the New World Order. Now there's what I mean by the weather not being as nice as it was in 2011. The actual top of the tower is shrouded in mist. Blackpool literally has its head in the clouds. So I think that's a perfect portrait of the kind of weather. It's actually very windy, and it's actually pretty nippy actually. I've got my hood up and everything. And see, I've got my hood up. Now, your eyes do not deceive you. That does say Stargate, although spelt in a strange way. That's right. You know, when I first came here, back in 2006, I got the tram to Stargate, and I remember thinking then, bit of a strange place. These are the trams. They got some new ones now. They're old ones when I was here. They just put these new ones in. I remember thinking how creepy that was. And it's a general creepiness of the kind of... It gives that general creepy feel, which you do get when you get here. That strange, that feeling that all is not as it seems. Now, as you see, I've come a long way from the pleasure beach. That's the big roller coaster there at the pleasure beach. Now I'm going to walk to St Anne's. Actually, I've decided I'm going to walk. What it is, when I first came in 2006, like I said, I got the tram to Stargate. It's funny because all the trams going south along through Blackpool along the promenade, they all say that Stargate on them, and it always gives me that strange feeling. From Stargate, I walked in 2006. It was October 2006, my very first probe conference. I walked from Stargate to St Anne's. And St Anne's is this way. And I don't know why I wasn't gonna walk originally. I was gonna get the bus, but then I thought excuse me, I've got plenty of time. You know, I've got to meet Colin at about 4 to 4:30 at the Salters Wharf. I want to check in about a hotel before then, hopefully. But if not, I can check in after. You know, I can check in a bit later. It's not a problem. So why not walk? I did it the first time. I suppose the big difference is when I walked from Blackpool to St Anne's last time, I was a hospital porter, and now I'm not. But I can't have lost it that much, I'll tell you. I can't be completely unfit. So I'm going to walk to St Anne's from here. I've got plenty of time. It's only about, what is the time? It's 10 to 3, so I've got plenty of time. And here we are, this is the big road to St Anne's now, past the airport, past the holiday camp. Hospital porters, pride and dignity, stop the New World Order. Well, in my attempt to recreate my historic journey in October 2006, 7 years ago, a few things have changed. For example, they're knocking down the chalets at the holiday camp. I don't know why they bother. Why don't they just wait for winter and let the wind do it? But, oh yeah, they used to get blown down every winter. Used to have to get rebuilt. It looks like the holiday camp's shut now. Look at what's behind it, look. Oh, it's all at it. And these are the dunes. They always look a bit precarious to me. I always think I'm going to probably get covered in a landslide at some point. Now, something strange happened here, but the sun's trying to come through. Something really strange happened here a couple of years ago after one of the probes. Malcolm Robinson and a couple of the guys from UFO Matrix, I can't remember who exactly, but they went for a walk on these dunes, sky watching, and they saw a UFO. I can't remember what it was like, but I mean, it's quite impressive, I think. And Malcolm Robinson's not the guy to be taken in by Chinese lanterns and Venus. So, this is a place where there was a UFO sighting a couple of years ago by delegates of the probe conference. So, a few changes. It still hasn't changed that much. Right, now over that set of dunes, which you may be able to see and may not, there's a fence there. You may be able to see the fence. Is the world famous St Anne's golf course, which is part of the pro circuit where they have the Ryder Cup and things like that, where Tiger Woods turns up to spend all that that money, that hard-earned money that those little 12-year-old kids in India have earned for him at the sweatshops. So I don't think he's here at the moment. Otherwise, I'd invite him to probe. He might learn a thing or two. Dune Point, Hurstwood Group. I don't know what that is. I'll look it up. But it does have a sort of Dracula's castle feel to it. In fact, it's funny this place is called Stargate because the place I was at, where you start this walk towards St Anne's, it's funny it's called Stargate because it has that kind of creepy feel to it when you start walking along here. Look, there's a pyramidal shaped building. That's odd, isn't it? It's not Illuminati, it doesn't have the detached capstone, but it's still a very strange thing to see. And look, there's the new Thursby nursing home, or a nursing home. I wonder if they do secret experiments in there on people. It wouldn't surprise me. It has that kind of feel to it, you know? So, it's funny, you will go through Stargate into another world. It's strange how apt that is. It's almost a kind of poetic thing, really. The creepiness continues. I've just come into St Anne's. First road that crosses my path when you come into St Anne's, where the built-up area of St Anne's, is called Todmorden Road. Todmorden is a UFO hotspot in West Yorkshire. It's where PC Alan Godfrey got abducted in 1976. I think it was 1976. And a couple of years before then, this guy called Zygmunt Adamski, not to be confused with George Adamski, turned up dead on a pile of coal after he went missing, when people saw some bright lights in the sky and he disappeared. Anyway, here I am, it's Clifton Drive North. Oh yeah, and I see, I'm really starting to feel at home now, because you see these walls with this red brick in and this red slate, right? That's characteristic of St Anne's. And this red brick is so classically what I associate with St Anne's, so I really feel like I'm almost there now. Oh, I made it. It's the Admiral. Well, it's called the Lord Derby now. That was the Admiral. Yeah, it used to be the Admiral. Yep, I'm here in St Anne's. I'm at the old crossroads. It's the pier just down here. There's the old pier. Yeah, I've made it, and the time? 3:26 p.m. Yeah, 3:26 p.m. Oh, someone's calling me. Oh, hello. 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 Excuse me a moment. Yep, here's the crossroads, and as I go across the lights here, ooh, there's the old those things there. I can't remember what it was, and the old whale bones over there. I call them whale bones. Yes, I'm feeling that. There's the whale bone thing. I'm feeling very much like, I love this warm feeling I get when I come back here, and I've done it in 1 hour 24 minutes. I've walked all the way from Blackpool North Beach to St Anne's, 1 hour 24 minutes. So it shows one thing, doesn't it? I'm still a hospital porter. Yeah. Maybe not in employment terms, but I'm still a hospital porter physically. You hear me? I'm still a hospital porter! Well, I'm back at the Monarch Hotel here, as you can see here. I'll just show you my room. It's quite a small one, but God knows it looks comfortable. I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. Lovely picture there. Oh yes, nice. Wonder what's up there. Yep, it's all right. Got my little. Yep, that'll do me. Little bathroom. Oh, it's nice to be back. I've still got a few minutes before I have to go meet Colin. But I was going to tell you a little while ago about how I came to be here. Like I said, I wasn't actually planning to come to St Anne's to probe. I was originally going to go to Exapol and say I'll skip probe again this year and go to Exapol. I went to Exapol. Excuse me, I got a cough. I went to Exapol as well, if you remember. But strange things happened. What's out my window? Just a kind of yard. Yeah, that's all right as a roof. Now, strange, mysterious things happened. I suddenly got one of these overwhelming intuitive urges to go to probe, right? And a lot of people have these. I mean, David Icke had this when he went to Peru. He suddenly got this overwhelming urge to go to Peru. He thought, well, you haven't got the money, you can't go. And that was my first thought. Well, I haven't saved any money to go. I've spent all my money on Exapol. And then I was flicking through the TV guide. I was at Astain's house, you know, my partner Astain, who's not here with me, unfortunately. She can't make it, which is a great shame. Another nice picture. And I saw an advert for the film Paul, which is a comedy film about an alien. It's from the people who made Shaun of the Dead, and it's got the same actors in. And it's about a group of guys who find an alien and they're driving in this sort of like motorhome, and they find an alien. It's a comedy film. It's funny. It's funny. It's not terribly sort of like good in the sense that it's meaningful or anything, but it's very, very funny, very entertaining. Lots of brilliant jokes. And it just hit me. Go to probe, go to probe, go to probe. You've got to go to probe. Now, I don't know if there's a particular reason why I feel this way, whether this weekend will have any kind of significance for me, but I just felt this overwhelming urge, and immediately, first thing I think was, I've got to get the money. So I phoned up my brother, and I said, Danny, it's funny, it's a stupid, strange question, you're going to probably say no, but can you lend me £200? And he said, yes. So I borrowed 200 quid off my brother, which is paid for most of this, and then I said, well, accommodation. So I said, I phone up the Monarch and see if they've got a room. I just phoned up the Monarch and I said, look, I'm sorry, this is only a few weeks' notice, but can you put me up for and I gave them the dates, and they said, yeah, sure. So I thought, right, that's it, I'm going. I booked the coach, and the rest is history, as they say. And I'm just settle into my hotel room now, and I'm going to go meet Colin at the Salters Wharf and do a bit more filming. So I will see you shortly. Hospital porters, pride and dignity, stop the New World Order. God, what a perfect dusk, or sunset, or late afternoon, whatever it is. It's just perfect. There's the pier. The seas, the tide's far out. The tide goes out a long way here. So I just gonna get back up on the prom, and it's just absolutely perfect. Sorry, I'm normally better with words, being a writer, but it's just sometimes I'm at loss for words. Sublime, divine, whatever you might call it. I just love this moment. The Friday when I arrive, it's one of these moments, it's like, it's so fleeting. I'm just walking along the prom now to the Salters Wharf. I'm going to meet Colin, but it's just all these experiences are so precious, and they, of course, I just love this feeling. The conference hasn't begun yet, it's all in front of me to be enjoyed, and there's that anticipation. Of course, by Sunday evening I'll be lamenting that it's all over, you know, but I can forget about that. You've got to be in the now when you're at these sort of events. As Eckhart Tolle said, be in the power of now. Don't worry about how you're going to feel in the future, just enjoy the moment you have now. When something wonderful happens like that, there is that kind of like bittersweet feeling that it's just a moment that's never to be repeated, or so rare and fleeting. That makes it all the more precious, I think. And in the world of military religion, which I've exposed so many times, the pride of place here in the St Anne's Seafront is the Lifeboatman's Memorial. It's one of these. I went on a hunt for non-military memorials, if you remember the article I wrote about that, trying to break through the military religion. In most towns you'd have a war memorial, but here it's the lifeboat memorial. So we continue along here. Quite a bumper conference we got this year. I've not actually been sent a programme, which I'll go through the programme with you tomorrow, because I've not actually been sent one yet, but I know Miles is here, which is nice, and that's another good thing. I'm going to get to see Miles again, which is like, because he's a lovely guy, Miles, and of course Colin, and Dave's coming. Dave Morgan's coming. He's turning up a bit later though, so he's got to work till midday, so he's basically making his way up here as we speak. Right. There's the old buildings along the seafront there. You'd be glad to know that the speakers are no longer at the Carlton Hotel with the rather, I didn't like her, the manager of the hotel. She's this big sort of chubby South African woman, and cause she's someone I can actually imagine. She looks South African, if you know what I mean. She's big, stocky woman. You can imagine her standing on the back of a Land Rover, you know, with a camouflage jacket on, a rifle in her hands, sunglasses, sun hat. No, you see, you will go and order. I went in there to order some water from the bar, and she says, "Can I have a glass of water, please? Just water from the tap." She says, "No, you're gone. The only water you can have here is the water that you buy." And I think that's actually illegal. It may not be round here. It certainly is in Oxford. You ask a member of the bar staff for a glass of water from the tap, they're not allowed to refuse you. And I remember I turned up once with a friend of mine. She had a bag of chips, and we went into the bar, and she said to me, "You tell your friend she's not allowed to bring chips in here. I don't want hot food in my hotel." And I said, "Look, it's pouring with rain outside. Can you make an exception just this one?" She says, "No, I can't. You tell her to get out." So I'm quite glad we're not at the Carlton anymore. Oh, and of course there was nothing on draft or anything, and all the beer prices were. You get these bottles. I mean, it's funny because they started off really cheap, and then later in the evening the prices would go up. You believe it? Getting close to the lifeboat station now. Now it's wind coming in from the sea. This is where we find out whether that windbreak works or not. These lifeboat men, these brave men, most of them don't get paid for what they do. There's a few professional ones. Most of them are sort of like volunteers, amateurs, and they go out and they risk their lives. And although there are memorials and charities and things like that, they're few and far between compared to the armed forces. This is part of what I've been talking about, you know, the military religion and stuff like that. And I've written articles about that, and I've spoken about that before, if you'll remember. Oh. So this is it. See, lifeboats. This town here has a great tradition in the lifeboat service, as you saw by the memorial. So it's quite something. Feel free to pause and read. There's lots of different sorts of lifeboat. And there's the boat itself in there, you see? There she is. If you can see that. There's the boat. Believe it or not, that's quite a sight. Those 4 swans, they just flew over my head. They've done it twice. They're just flying around in circles here. I'll see if I can capture them when they come round again. That's one of the kind of magical things that tends to happen, you know, in places like this. It's one of these kind of like transcendental, kind of otherworldly type feelings. You feel like you're in some kind of narrative. It's almost like you're in a movie of some kind, and there's a script writer. See if they come over my head. That's the second time they've been over here, right over the top of my head, both times, even though I was in different places. Where are they now? I'll keep my camera at my hip. Here they go. There they are, look. Oh, hello. You can hear their wings going. They've got such loud. It's not like owls. Owls are really silent when they fly, but these swans are so loud. I mean, of course, you see them at the river sometimes down in Oxford. The ices, you know, they're flying up and down the river and that. I don't know why they're doing it. They're just going. There's 4 of them, just going around in circles. That feels like a wonderful gift to have seen that. Thank you. Oh yeah, me and Colin have just seen something a bit strange. Now, I'm not sure how much you can see. Right, we're walking along the seafront at St Anne's, just to give you some bearings. That over there is the pier. That's the St Anne's pier there. The lifeboat house is there, and those lights in the distance there are Southport, which is across the river estuary, the River Ribble estuary. Now there's several lights dotted along the horizon here, which are light buoys. Now there's this sort of glow on the horizon over there, and we don't know what it is. And I saw it when I saw it. Colin, did you see it? When did you first see it? Was it when I
only after you mentioned it, really. I don't know. Could be.
There's a strange glow on the. What's weird is that it's changed shape slightly, I think.
It just looks like a long strip of, but it's not. It's not like the lights, is it, over there? So
no. You see, I first saw it when we came out of the pub, and we were walking along the prom. I thought it was something like some reflection off a bin lid or something. But we got round here, and we can see it's still there, and it's. What's more, the direction it's in, it's not part of the pier or part of, and also it's not in the direction of any land. There's land, get a map out, you'll see what I mean. There's Southport over there, that's the River Ribble. Sometimes on a good day you can see North Wales in that direction, if you can see my hand. And that glow on the horizon is way out, that's way out to sea, that is. Could it be a sunset? Could it just simply? What's the time? Check time check.
7:28.
Right. What's sunset? You said earlier.
6:40 it was.
Right. It's not sun. It could be the afterglow or something of sunset.
Yeah.
But it's a strange. I mean, unfortunately, my camera. We need Win Keach here with a proper camera. It is dimming on one side slightly. We need Win Keach here with one of his special cameras. My camera's not up to it, but that's it there. It's dimming slightly, I think. I can't keep it in bloody focus.
St Elmo's Farm.
No, I don't know. It's dimming. I think it may well just be an afterglow of sunset. Because of the cloud. Maybe something to do with the clouds, I'm not sure. Is it in the right direction for sunset? Well, I think it is actually. You got your little app with the
star map thing.
Star map thing, which shows where the sun is and everything.
Hold on, there is a star map.
I think it is in the right. See, the sun was there. Hang on, the sun was there, right? It was at that elevation in that direction. I know because it was directly parallel with the pier at about 4 o'clock. God blimey, how did I get through my life with a phone that just rings? I never know. It's unbelievable what Colin has. He has Allrack and
there we go.
He has the Neutron Wrangler and Deep Thought.
The sun has set down there, so maybe that's.
Is it the right direction?
I guess that's the horizon.
Yeah.
Coma, Virgo's over there.
Yeah.
Saturn.
Question is it the right direction for the sun to be there? Is that the right direction? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, this is like. I think you're right.
It's the right direction. Is it the right direction for the sun?
Yeah, well, because it's all on GPS, so it's, it doesn't move with the.
Yeah, so the sun, as we can see, actually the sun. Can you see the glow there? It's in the right direction for the sun. Now the sun set about 50 minutes ago, but that could be an afterglow. That could just be an afterglow of the sunset on the Irish Sea. Oh. It's not moved.
It's like an hour before, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about an hour ago. Was it? What's?
The moon's coming. Yeah.
Strange.
Well,
Sort of probe has got off to a good start, hasn't it?
That and the carvery, we're in business.
We had a carvery and a few pints.
We're heading to the.
We had a pint or three, as the Irish say.
Speakers Hotel.
Yeah, we're heading off to Langdale to see the speakers, and I think that is an afterglow sunset. Sorry, Panwo TV viewers, I think it's an afterglow sunset, and we'll keep an eye on it. And if it does anything like rises up into the sky or comes over here and drops little greys on top of us, I will have my camera ready. Okay, see you later. Right, Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Panwo TV yet again. I'm in this pub here in St Anne's, living in St Anne's, Lancashire, at the Probe Conference. Now I want to do a little experiment now, which is involving something which you may have heard of before, which I've spoken of before, which is called fracking. This is a new system of extracting natural gas from the ground by filling the crevices in the ground with high pressure water and chemicals, which causes the rock to fracture, hence fracking, short for hydraulic fracturing. This releases the gas into the well and it can be collected at the top. The problem is that gas leaks out. And areas where fracking takes place, a lot of the gas actually leaks up to the surface and it plays havoc with the environment. It gets into the atmosphere, it gets into the soil, this methane, this natural gas, which is okay if it's in pipes, but if you're breathing it in, it's very, very dangerous. Now, where I am, which is the Fylde Peninsula on the Lancashire coast, the first ever extraction at the test well for fracking in the United Kingdom has been, the operation to test the first fracking well in the United Kingdom has been underway. And now one of the effects of fracking I found, and there's lots of videos on YouTube of this, from Australia, from the United States. I'm here with Gary here, and let's say there's Gary.
Hello.
And Colin, of course, as you know. And Gary has lent me his cigarette lighter. I don't smoke, but I'm going to use this because I had to borrow it because what I'm going to do now is an experiment, because one of the effects of fracking is that water that comes out of the mains tap is very often, it's so full of bubbles of methane that it will burn. You can actually set fire to the water coming out of your tap. Please go onto YouTube and just go Google burning water or fracking burning water, and you can see people doing this. So I'm now going to go to the bathroom, the toilet of this pub, and I'm going to try and set fire to the water coming out of the tap. Let's just see if anything happens. Right, well, I'm back now, and as you can see, nothing happened yet, but that doesn't mean that this area is not going to suffer from the effects of fracking, and it has done already, because Blackpool experienced its first earthquake for 110 years, and there's been lots and lots of damage. And there's a petition going around. There's a big action campaign against it. Ian R. Crane has been speaking here against it. So I might come back here later in the year or next year and I'll do the experiment again and see if I can set fire to the water then, and that'll give us an idea of actually how much methane is getting into the drinking water here at Lytham St Anne's, Lancashire. That's it. See you later. Right, well, it's Saturday morning. It's about 9:20. I'm walking up St Albans Road. A lot of the familiar sights are now coming back to me. The old church there, and the parish centre, and I can just see the YMCA looming there ahead of me. And again, it's always a nice feeling when this happens. I came back here a few months ago, if you recall. The only time I've ever been to St Anne's without going to a pro conference, and that was to attend the New Horizons event where I was a speaker. That was really just a kind of quite lukewarm experience. It was nice to come back and see St Anne's again, but it was so brief and for such a different purpose that it was kind of a bit of a methadone trip, really. Now I'm back for the real stuff, the hardcore. I'll see you in a minute. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity, Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Panwo TV. And guess what? Dennis and Marion are here. I didn't think they were. Here they are. Look. It's Dennis and Marion. I didn't think they were. Someone told me they hadn't been for a couple of years and they weren't going to come this, and I thought, oh, I'll be ashamed if I can't see Dennis and Marion. You know, but they are here.
Part of the furniture, aren't they?
Yeah, Colin and Dave are here too.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, do you sleep well, guys?
Yeah, good night's sleep.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
Never seen you before. Okay.
Yeah, how are you? This is Steve. Steve, remember Steve? He's been on there before. I've got your little
Oh, we got
ad here for the magazine, yeah.
Well, I'm lecturing here next in March.
Brilliant, I'll come to that.
If you're here, I'll be.
Yeah, see Stephen Mirror at ProbeNet in March.
So, yeah, this is a place to be for everybody who's interested in the same old subject.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. See you later. And so today, here we got Joanne Richards, Janine Regan Sinclair, Charles Hall, Madeline, Dave Starbuck is on. Yeah, Dave Starbuck is back as well.
Yeah, he's over
there
there.
he is, look.
Yeah, there you go. Only lives in Gibraltar now.
Just north of Gibraltar, there he is. Now there's someone I've not seen for a while. Now Dave, honestly, I didn't even know if he was still alive, to be honest. I didn't want to say that.
No.
I did wonder if he was still alive.
He's looking pretty healthy.
Yeah, he's looking pretty well. He hasn't changed a bit. But I've not heard from him about 5 years. I'm on the mailing list for his various products, the catalogue.
Yeah.
And I changed my address. The thing is, they didn't turn up for a few months, and when I moved house, I didn't.
No, I haven't got any.
Yeah.
I haven't got.
Hello.
How you doing? Nice to see you again.
And you? Yeah. How are
Did you get
you?
another job?
Yes.
I heard you lost your job.
I did. Yeah. I mean, it's.
Shout bastards, huh?
It stinks to high heaven what they did.
Oh, God.
It really
I
did.
I heard about it, yeah.
But you know, it's really. I mean, things have worked out all right. I've got food on, roof over.
Oh, that's...
I'm better off than some, you know.
Yeah.
And but I missed
if
this
you ever
place.
get stuck, we'll sort you out and come in.
Oh, thank you.
Don't stay at home.
Thank-
We'll try to get in.
Oh, thanks, mate. I much appreciate that. That's much appreciated. Yeah.
Just give us a shout.
I might need that one day. You never know. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, just
thanks.
come. We'll stand at the door, because I'm always here.
Thanks. But I'll pay me way. You know, I've got a job and everything.
No, you're all right. If you get stuck in there, I mean, because you didn't come for a couple of years, did you?
Oh, I've missed it. Yeah, 2 years. I missed it. I really have. I really have. But it's nice to be back. It's wonderful to be back. Actually, it's at the Monarch. I'm at the Monarch. Yeah, it's a lovely place. That's where I stayed last time. They remembered me, you know. Well, I went and saw them. I popped in and saw them when I went to St. At to New Horizons a few months ago, and they remembered me. And I just said, "Oh, hello, how are you?" And it's great. It's just wonderful to be back. Yeah. I mean, I've changed my address because when I moved out, so I didn't let him know because to be honest, I didn't even know if he was still alive.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
But he's still fighting fit, and I've just given him my address so I get the catalogues again. So all his catalogues. Well, they're starting up again. Starting in a minute. I shall see you guys later. Ah, now that there is the Memorial Hall Community Centre where I spoke at New Horizons, in which not far, of course, from the YMCA, just over there. I'm just looking for a call box because I want to phone a stain. I just, as you know, I don't have a mobile phone anymore, and I've explained. It's funny, you know, how that happens. You know, you don't, these sort of things that are essential technologies and stuff, you don't get anymore. Anyway, I've just heard Janine Regan Sinclair, who's a very interesting lady, because she was actually on Planet X Radio on the show where I did the news report. I didn't actually get to interview her myself, but I was very, very interested in what she was saying, because she talks about astral projection and things like that. Now that's an interesting subject. She's dressed all in white, and she was talking about how she can alter her consciousness to take astral trips into around this dimension and many others, which is quite something. Oh blimey, it's amazing to be back in this little place again. I'm not sure this shop was here last time I was around, but this one, Sue's Sandwich Bar. I don't think there is one. Call box. Too many people have mobile phones. That's the problem. And they just don't have such things as call boxes. They're just quaint, old-fashioned things. No one. Oh, there's one. I was just saying that. I just want to phone up a stain and see how she is. I tried to call her last night. She wasn't there. I think she was doing her job, working. So I'll just see if I can get hold of her. See you later. I think someone's getting married over there. I've just seen Joanne Richards. Now this is the third time she's been at Probe, and I've been lucky enough to see her all times. Hello, doggies. Hello. Now, she's an amazing lady with a strange story to tell. She's married to someone called Captain Mark Richards, and he is in jail. He was set up for a murder and put in jail. But the reason he was put in jail is because he, to quote a favourite expression, he knew too much. And she talks about the Earth Defence Headquarters, which she is a website she's set up, and basically it's a kind of a strange story because it fits in a bit with the Disclosure Project and stuff like that, but it tells a very different story. Because you see, I've been getting the impression, of course that's the impression we all get, is, oh look, someone's getting married in there, look. Oh look. I think, that's right, I think they're waiting for a wedding of some kind. The impression I got is that the government, you know, the Illuminati occupied governments know ETs exist. This is on one level. This is what you mostly hear from Disclosure. On one level. And that they're keeping that secret from us, but they're not in any way interacting with these extraterrestrials. Well, the truth of the matter is, according to Joanne, and I think it's actually true because it fits in with some of the things you hear in other areas independently. So Joanne's story is backed up, and that is that basically the Illuminati and the Illuminati occupied states, or state, world government, is politically active and in negotiations with extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional civilizations. And she mentions all kinds of creatures. There's these things that, there's reptoids, which of course you hear a lot about from David Icke, and again this goes back through ancient mythology. Creatures that that look like slugs, and they're a bit like hippos, and they spit acid, but apparently they're friendly. This is good. I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of one of them. There are aliens that are plant-like, and they hate vegetarians because they hate humans, especially vegetarians, because we eat plants. God, that's really going to put a spanner in the works of people like the Jungle Surfer, isn't it? And she talks about the Dulce base, which is a very interesting story. The Dulce book is worth reading. And apparently in 1961 there was a treaty conference in Exeter. Now, hello. There's some of my friends there. Yeah. Although where it is held, I don't know. She said it was held in a public place, because apparently some of these creatures do resemble humans and can make themselves look like humans, like the Jatoon, which is the most amazing things, because Jatoons are these creatures that can shapeshift into any animate and inanimate object, and it makes me wonder where science fiction authors get their ideas from, because there's an episode of the sci-fi comedy series Red Dwarf called Polymorph, which talks about that very subject. There's creatures called gastrocells that look like clouds, raptors that are like dinosaurs, or octopus girls, nereids. These are creatures that live in the Earth's oceans. And this brings us into the subject of USOs, unidentified submarine objects. There's the Eater, the war beetles, carnissons. There's a whole menagerie of these aliens that Joanne describes. What's interesting is this is backed up by a lot of the subjects, you know, the research into USOs. There's a Russian ufologist called Azhaja, and he's a former submarine officer. And he said that Russian submarines, all through the Cold War, used to encounter something called kvak-kvak, which in Russian means the croakers, things that make a croaking noise, which I thought was strange. Hi, Colin. Colin's here. Oh, look, space. How appropriate.
There you go.
Where'd you get
the official probe snack?
Isn't that appropriate? 20. Only 20. Where'd you buy them
in
from?
the vending machine in the.
Right, well, I'll have to get one of them.
Yeah, and then you got on about look, Space Raider stats.
Oh,
look, it says Zeta Reticuli, Habitat Cyber Cities.
This is unbelievable. I have to get a
favourite snack: boggart globules and pickled onions. Space Raiders.
Oh my goodness.
It's a sectoid, but I think that's a grey.
That's a grey.
It's a green grey.
A green grey, yeah. Isn't it odd how these images have now infected mainstream media? But I thought what Joanne was talking about was really quite incredible. And I mean, when I last saw her, I wasn't convinced by her when she was here last time. I thought this is just too far out. I can't gel with this. But today, I think she's presenting. Now, I think it's a lot more based on the information that's come to me since then. It's sounding very credible. I mean, but she talks about aliens that export Rolex watches and chocolates.
Yeah, the dog species.
Yeah.
Canisons.
Alien dogs exporting Rolexes and...
Yeah. And strange enough, they're from Canis Major, which is the...
I suppose alien life is quite diverse, so we shouldn't be surprised
What
that
I
there
wanted to
are.
ask, I was going to stick my head up and say, look, these animal species, that are common to Earth and out there, did the other animals out there come from us, or did our animals come from them genetically, or was it all seeded at the same time?
Oh, there's one. Yeah, that's a... Sorry, Dave, that's a good point.
That's the thing I was wondering.
Yeah. Have a look at that.
What is that?
That is the actual alien. I wonder... I hope they're not real aliens they're
that's a
putting in
strange
these.
No, because I think if we're eating them, then
I think that's a
they might
genetic-
eat us. That's the worry.
Well, Miles might
Genetically
say...
modified CRISPR.
Miles might say they have trackers in them. We should ask him, shouldn't we? Because Miles was talking last night about how Kentucky Fried Chicken has trackers. If you eat Kentucky Fried Chicken, it makes it easier for the greys to home in on you. And it's not like Chantal, of course, Piper. Chantal Piper, of course, eats
What
it
about the
all the
bargain
time.
bucket? That should make it easy.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have a whole army descending on you.
Yeah. Funny enough, I mean, she describes some of the creatures that Joanne describes resemble the ones that Mary Rodwell has encountered with her witnesses, like the cat-like beings. They look like the lion
I've heard
men
that, yeah.
that Mary Rodwell talks about.
There's also raptors, and there's but then you've got sort of draconians, and then you've got. I mean, there seems quite diverse sort of.
Yeah.
But she spills out all these facts, and nothing against her, I suppose, but it just make you think, well, okay, where did all this stuff really come from? It's just, she's just coming out with all these facts, or so-called facts, but there's nothing to support it. I mean, it's a good story, but...
I think if it wasn't for all the other stuff that's coming from me from other directions, it sounds out of this world. I mean...
But why is he more dangerous? If he was out there giving his story, why would he be more dangerous than all the other people who are giving their stories?
I don't. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, it's possible that obviously Joanne is being monitored, and maybe there's a couple of jatoons in the conference hall. I mean, maybe one of them's the basketball hoop. You never know. It's.
Oh, I don't know if I should say this on tape, really.
Oh, it's all right. Tell me in a minute.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to go back in there because they're going to be starting in a minute. I might get a packet of those alien crisps myself. Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity stopped the New World Order, and please, all these aliens, leave me alone. One year we were here, there was this, it was the year after Dee Warwick died actually, these blokes turned up, they were all sort of like guys with black suits on, and little red ties. They're all dressed exactly the same, there's about 4 of them. And I don't know if you remember that, whether you were there, it was the March 2007 one. But no one seemed to know who they were. And they would...
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, and I asked Sam, who are these guys? And he says, oh, well, they've all got valid tickets. We don't know who they are, but they've got valid tickets. And I remember sitting next to one of them. He's this young chap with a messy, swarthy-looking guy, deep black hair, very messy hair, I remember, and little glasses. And I said, hello, I said to him, and he went, And he didn't speak much, because people are normally very chatty at probes. I thought that was a bit strange. And then it was all very odd, because... very odd indeed, because they were applauding whenever the speakers came up. And they never spoke to anyone, but they sat in different areas of the room. And
Oh, really?
they were
separated?
yeah, and they're all dressed exactly the same. It was extremely odd. It was a very Men in Black type experience. They've not been back anyway since then. This is interesting. Look, this is obviously an old church, only several centuries old, this church, and they've mounted mobile phone masts on them.
All around it?
Yeah, it's a big halo or crown of mobile phone masts. Now this is just... They seem to get everywhere now, and sometimes in places you can't see them, giving off their energy. Yeah. And this is a... That's a nice pub in there, you can get some good food in there.
I think Janet's in there.
We're going to just pop in there. And that there is these little lights. It's this big chamber we're in, this auditorium, this downstairs auditorium here. Give you a quick 360 panorama of stuff here. Here's the door. And it's the downstairs auditorium. Excuse me. I've still got a cough now. And there's some lovely things here to look at on this store. Cygnus Review, the Badger Coal thing, which I showed you before. Green Hay Healing Centre. Cygnus Review I've heard of. New Horizons, of course, where I've spoken at. And this is Dennis, of course. Dennis and Marion are back, so they got their stall again. Hi Marion. I've missed these two, I really have. I've missed these two a lot.
So yeah, if you play.
Look at that, they're beautiful, these crystals. These pyramidal crystals. Amazing. And little key rings. Roswell key ring. Nice one. And Area 51. You see, these are fridge magnets.
No, they're the signs.
Keep out. Do they
Peel that off and you like, put a thing in the wall and you just lock them up.
Oh, cool. Can Chase UFO hotspot. Now this, I think I've seen. Graham Bird, Nick Pope, Larry Warren, R. Fowler. Yeah. Nick Pope, you have to know Nick Pope, don't you? Graham Birdsall, of course, is no longer with us, sadly.
Graham Birdsall did a talk on that.
And this is
not long before he passed away.
This is a book by Ellie Oakenson, One Step Beyond, a personal UFO abduction experience. Yeah. I'm not going to buy anything today, but...
No problem. That's about her experience that she had.
Yeah. Feel free to pause and read. I'm not going to buy anything today. I'll buy stuff for tomorrow. Yeah, it's quite a big book. And of course you know that, you recognise that t-shirt of course, because it's right here. And there's some more, I might get another one. Yeah, like this one. Cool grey, I might get that one I think. That looks good. And there's this one as well, greys in the book.
They always glow in the dark. And
Alien Michelin Man. And of course, Mulder and Scully, the X-Files. Brilliant little sketches there, very good indeed. Now this here is Orgone Blanket, Earth Free Natural Beauty.
That is what brought a tear to my eye last night. I thought, wow.
Orgone Blanket, I feel I'm right.
She was told that she made
Earth Silk Products. earthsilkproducts.co.uk. Yeah, lovely. Oh, some books as well.
Well, I did have a lovely husband when he was alive.
Some interesting books. Hi, Win, all right. Not bad, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you again. I've missed this place, I really have.
I do. I love coming here. It's fantastic.
You remember Win, don't you? This is I'm on Hapanwo. Do you want to be on Hapanwo TV?
I'm on Hairy Cam.
You know Win. Yeah, we've met before. But Win's a regular here too, so...
I'm sort of the hairy bike reviewology.
You're a bit, yeah.
And there's the other hairy bike reviewology.
Oh, it's Frank, yeah. Yeah. Do you want to Hapanwo TV, Frank? You remember you were a Frank as well? Yeah, they're both regulars. It's been real reunions. This whole weekend has been reunions. Oh look, they're doing an aura. I would photograph people without asking, but let's have a look at these. True Essence Aura photo. I had one of these done once, I think. Right. Let's discover what colour you are. Now these are nice. It's crystals and all various other ornaments.
Sorry, I'm like, and then I looked down and I thought,
And essential oils. Hello. Oh, yeah. Angel cards. This is the sort of thing Sue would love. Rune stones. Of course, she's not here. Yeah, a stain. Yes, I phoned her up. Like I said already, I phoned her up, and I do miss her this weekend because this is the sort of thing she would love.
oh, I am sorry. And I just thought when I pulled the last photo, I always change.
Now, there's some amazing books. I like these books. Ghost Hunting with Derek Acora. Oh. The Vampire. I mean, I'll get one of these books. They got a lot of books by Lobsam Rampa, who's better known as Cyril Hoskins. And I believe he was a taxi driver. No, that was George King. No, he was a painter and decorator, I think.
No, he wasn't.
Wasn't he?
He was a man who fixes taps.
Was he a plumber? Oh, right, I know. I was thinking of a taxi driver. That was George King of the Aetherius Society. But he had an experience where he had contact with an ancient soul from Tibet. That's it, isn't it? And these are some. You see, it's old books are the most interesting, I find, because it's old books. Do you want to be on Hapanwo TV? Would you like to be on Hapanwo TV on my TV channel? Would you like to? This is a lady I know very, very well and love very much. She's a regular at Probe too. But I find in old books, do you agree, in old books, you find material you don't find in new books, because there is censorship, and there is publishers censor new material, and the stuff you find in books.
Books are from the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah, I came across a book which was an old Reader's Digest book of mysteries, and it came out in 1983, and it was full of all kinds of things. You'll never see them on, like stuff about spiritualism and things like that, about the experiments they did, which prove it's true, and it's completely absent from modern books. And the government has recently in America, has tried to bring out they put out an appeal for all book publishers to return any remainder stock they have to be pulped, because you know what? Apparently there's some toxic material in the glue. Do you believe that? Yeah. There's some the glue which holds the binding is toxic.
Is it?
No, that's what they're saying. That's what the government is saying. They're asking publishers to return any old stock they have in bookshops and sellers, because there's toxic stuff in the glue. We need to pulp and destroy these books. Do you believe that? I don't believe that for a second. No. They want them to return the books so they can censor old information. It's not that is censored from modern literature wasn't in older literature. So do go out and get old books like these, the unexplained files. Yeah, it's amazing. See, this is a really old book, and I bet you there's stuff in here. I think I've got this one actually. It's got a different cover, but this is the old Unexplained magazine, which you can't get anymore. And that's amazing.
It came from an esoteric library in America. Someone who passed over.
Right.
And
beyond belief. It's so that's where you got them from. Amazing. But this was serialized as a magazine long in the 1980s. Do you remember Unexplained magazine?
yes.
Yeah. And there's several different versions of there's several different sort of books. It's come out now in books, and there's several different versions. Oh wow. James Van Reaching for Heaven. Oh. But I'm going to carry on, and I'll come back here later. And thank you for being on Hapanwo TV. Tell the listeners what your name is? Sheila. What's your husband's name? Alan. Yeah. Both regulars here.
Great to see you.
Oh yeah. I'm pleased to see him too, and you. Have enjoyed your day. These are old tankards, like beer tankards. Silver tankards. Wow. This is Janine Regan Sinclair's material here. God's cleaning lady. I remember in Terry Gilliam's film The Fisher King, Robin Williams' character calls himself the janitor of God. Give yourself some meat. Oh, that looks really good. And here's the megalithic tours again. Hello.
It's such a broad thing.
These are regulars too, as these countries.
Traditions, we say.
Oh, Neil MacDonald.
Tradition. Tradition, Western mystery tradition.
It shows itself in...
If you can get to one of these events, do go, because they're really, really good. These David Boyle's things.
So not how everything was made from the very beginning.
That's amazing stuff.
That's all in the exhibitions, which is why
You should be good as well.
I've done it many. Listen, the last programme was on 2 times. Yeah, lots of times. I've given a few
Amazing.
talks here. haven't I?
Hello, Dave. How
Hey,
are
mate.
you? Nice to see you again, buddy. Nice to see you.
Excuse me, have you travelled far today, have you? I thought that. I lived in Dorset for many years.
This is Dave's store.
I used to go to Bournemouth most Saturdays, yeah.
Do you want to be on her Panwo TV? This is David Boyle. We went to the site of your old museum earlier in the film, and it's now been boarded up. And I'm sorry that's not there anymore. But are you going to bring it back? Do you think?
Yes, it's already operational. If you'd have walked 50 yards further down on the corner, you'd have found it.
Is it there?
Yes, it's there in Blackpool.
Is it? Oh my goodness! Oh, if only I'd. That's so good to know.
We've just built it right up to date. And
Oh,
it's got
man.
every single thing in it now, so you don't need to go anywhere else. It's all there.
Oh my one. Unfortunately, I'll tell you what. My coach is at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and I would go there if only I was on travelling by train. I'd go to that like we did to your last one.
Okay, well, isn't it funny that on Monday morning at 10 o'clock, all the speakers are coming down for a full day's lecture?
Oh man. If only I could change my coach ticket, but I've got to get back. I'm supposed to get back to work. Oh dear.
We're open all year round. We only close on a Wednesday.
Oh, thank you. Oh, look at this. This is great.
Gives you everything, who you are, what you are, where you come from, where you're going, why you're here. Explains in great detail all your 12 bodies, all the dimensions of existence, explains how they operate, how they work, how it's all created, and how everything goes back to the beginning.
So what's the address of your new event?
95 Promenade, opposite Central Pier, underneath Chisco's extension there.
Right. So let's, Panwo TV viewers, if you can get to Blackpool, go to that address and go and visit David Boyle's UFO exhibition, because it's really, really good. Yeah. That's really good news, Dave. You've made my day.
Good,
You really
glad
have.
you like that.
Well, thank you
We'll
very
look forward
much.
to seeing you later.
Lovely. You will come again sometime, yeah.
Is that your free energy?
Is it,
Well, I don't know yet.
these are more of David's things here. That's good news, isn't it? I can't see that. That's true. Oh, look. All kinds of amazing things here. Some t-shirts. Oh, wow. Seek the truth. Oh, I've got to... And this, of course, is a familiar face or a familiar sight to all you regulars of these films. You'll see Mike Oram's amazing book, Does It Rain in Other Dimensions, which is really, really good. And these books, I'm going to have to go through all these in a little while. Hello, Mike.
How are you, mate?
How are you? Good to see you again. Good to see you.
Keeping all right?
Yeah, do you want to be on her Panwo TV?
Do I need...
You don't have to be if you don't want to, but it's all right, mate. That's Mike Oram, who you're familiar with, and it's good to see you again.
And you too, mate. Yeah. So you've got a John Pickering t-shirt.
Yeah, that's
He draws my cartoon.
the book. Yeah, so this author of this book here by Mike. Yeah, he's the author. I didn't realise, but
He does the artwork.
he does these t-shirts.
And his friend's ex-husband.
Oh my goodness! All right.
So when I met Mike and he was talking about cartoon idea, I said, oh no, accept you for it. There you go.
It's a small world, isn't it? And those are the t-shirts that are for sale on Dennis and Marion's stall. That's amazing, isn't it?
In Kendal, in 2 weeks' time, there's a very important cartoon conference in Kendal.
Oh, nice.
It's a big there's some big names coming from around the world, big names in cartoons. So we're going to be there presenting our cartoons.
Lovely. Well, that's if you can get to that, get to Kendal next week. And do you have a website, Mike? Is it, do you have a website where people can go to?
What's my website?
InOtherDimensions.com.
InOtherDimensions.com. Go
And Ben'sWorld.com.
Ben'sWorld.com. Yeah. And these are Mike's books. I've read that one. Does It Rain in Other Dimensions? Alien Interference. Oh, we've got 4. Alien Interference. Zen of Ben, a cartoon guide to life in the cosmos.
Not interference, alien interface.
Sorry, interface. Yeah. Of first published amazing alien contacts. That's from the Warminster phenomenon. So is that the one where you talk about Warminster?
Yeah, I'm going to be speaking in Warminster in 2015.
Oh, I want to go to that. Yeah, I saw it advertised. I thought, and this is Strange World of Jimmy Hayes.
Jimmy Hayes, yes.
What's this about?
It's my children's book. It's a little boy who is taken to the centre of the earth by extraterrestrials, and he ends up having to save the world.
Oh. That's quite a story, Mike.
It's a very interesting story, yeah. And what happens to him and his experiences with his ET friends and his experiences with the light.
Star Hill Publishing.
And the impact it has on his parents.
Star Hill Publishing. Mike and I and John.
Is that your own imprint? Yeah. Oh, good. That's it. It's good to publish your own work because then you don't have to answer to anyone. I do that. I've published 2 books myself. Yeah. And these are some of the books in Mike's and Fran's. Oops, there's one down there I just stood on. Lost Languages. Oh my goodness. This looks good. Undeciphered Scripts. These are ancient scripts that no one knows what they're saying. And of course the Egyptian was only deciphered at the beginning of the 19th century. Some DVDs there. I'm not going to buy anything today, but because I'm going to decide late, maybe tomorrow, and then I'll buy something.
Take you up on it.
Will do. No, I have to make some tough decisions. Yeah.
Chase you around at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon if you have
Will do, Mike. Yeah. Yeah. I will certainly have to get one of these.
Nice to see you.
And you, mate. Yeah. Oh, there's the UFO Congress, Mike Oram. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was one of the
I'd love to go to Congress.
That's the talk I gave in America.
I would love to go to Congress one day. That's one thing I've never done.
Yeah, we had a good time there.
He looks lovely, doesn't it? And here you hear about all the things about Mike's book. Some more things here, some VHSs.
I'd like the frame one go back.
And this is the crystal stall here, which is always another regular feature of the conference.
5 minutes, folks. 5 minutes. Thank you.
God, doesn't time fly? Yeah, and these crystals and these are Russian dolls. You've been coming here every year I've been, I think.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
We really have.
Yeah.
And this here is the stall of this lady. Do you want to be on her Panmo TV?
What, sorry?
Would you like to be on her Panmo TV?
Yes.
I just film the stalls unless people give me permission, but is that all right? This is Madeline, isn't it? Madeline Walker, who is the author of these books. And she's going to be a speaker this afternoon, or was it tomorrow afternoon?
This afternoon.
This afternoon. And I'll be telling you all about her when I've heard her speak. But there's these cards here about various animals. Pets' Past Lives. The Whale Whisperer. That's amazing. Fearless Earth. And over here we have. This is Dave Starbuck is back. I was telling you about him, wasn't I? He's back. And this is his stall. Hi there. All right. Yes, I am. It's not like it's for my TV. I'm making a film about this conference. Now, Dave, as you know, is someone I've encountered many times before, and I've mentioned many times before. And I hadn't heard from him for years, and suddenly he turns up here, which is amazing. And these are some of these brilliant videos: Money Masters, The Future of Food, that covers all the subjects, same sort of subjects I cover on her Panwo. I'm going to sit down in a minute. You know, and there's various interviews with, and these are audio CDs from Revelation tapes or Revelation audio, which I've got most of these, I think. But certainly worth getting one of his. And this here is the store of Neil and Nigel. Sorry, Nigel.
No, it's fine.
Everyone calls him.
Everyone
calls him Neil.
Nigel. So do you want to be on her Panwo TV?
Yeah,
sure. That's Nigel there. And this is, what's your name?
Helen.
Helen. It's nice to see you.
Good to see you.
And you've got some brilliant T-shirts there, Nigel and Helen, and their T-shirts.
It's all for our portal that we're doing.
It's with the alien that's over there.
And
we discovered a portal in Settle, and we actually do work there to try and bring through manifestation of
and
being.
I'll be telling you more about this in souvenirs. But there is a conference coming up with the Skywatch at Settle. That's Settle in North Yorkshire, I believe.
Yeah, on the 9th of November.
Yeah, and I'd love to go there, except I'm already going to the one near Huddersfield, which is the UFO Truth. So
no problem. Maybe next
I had to choose which one it was going to be. Yeah. But there's a portal there. It's interesting.
Yeah, we're doing the Skywatch on the night at the portal, so that should be interesting.
Oh, lovely.
Or you can see him at the cross next year.
Oh, love to. Yeah.
Or Cavanagh. Is it Cavanagh here next year as well, in Markham?
Yeah. Well, you know, we'll be doing sky watching on the beach later.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
We will be doing that. Definitely will be doing that. Yeah.
And Weird 14 you're doing as well, aren't you? and truth juice.
She's promoting.
Oh, you're all over.
Truth juice and Todmorden.
You're going to be a busy chap. In Todmorden, oh, that's UFO hotspot of the world, as I was explaining earlier. This is their book, not Isaac Newton and the Secret Sundial. Isaac Newton, of course, was a very esoteric man as well as a great scientist. I spoke about Isaac Newton when I did the thing about William Blake's grave, if you remember. So I'm talking to my viewers. And this is amazing pictures back here. And I'm going to have to go and sit down because we're going to start. I've almost run out of film as well. I've got another chip in here, but I'll see you guys later. Yeah.
Take care, mate.
And you, see. Right, I'm going to go and sit down, make myself comfortable. That's right. And this is what it looks like to be a viewer in the auditorium, as you see here. That's the basketball hoop. There's probably a jatoon in disguise. If it runs up and tries to eat you, you'll know. And I'm now got only a few seconds of film left, so I'm going to leave it there. See you later.